Prime Day just started and it's my favorite time of the year because, oh, hold on, give me a second.
Because it's the perfect opportunity to load up on the camera gear that you've been wanting to buy, but you've been holding out on. And in partnership with SmallRig today, we're gonna talk about some of my favorite camera gear that's on sale, as well as some non-SmallRig gear that you should definitely check out during the sale between July 8th and July 11th. Whew. So you don't have any FOMO and you don't miss out on any good deals. All right, let's just jump right into it. Kicking things off, we have to talk about probably my favorite piece of equipment made by SmallRig, maybe ever. And that is of course gonna be the SmallRig PotatoJet Tribex tripod. This has been my go-to tripod for everything from weddings to commercials to YouTube. It does it all. And here are 3 reasons why I love this tripod. It sets up in literal seconds. No other tripod I've owned is this fast and convenient, which means getting set up for a shot is super easy and it takes the stress out of recomposing my shots in fast-paced environments like weddings. It's made of carbon fiber and is super lightweight, making it really easy to pack and bring for shoots. And it even breaks down small enough to fit into a checked luggage if I need to really travel with it. And the operating range is pretty big, letting me shoot as high up as 66.5 inches or as low as 11 inches, which lets me get really interesting compositions. I have a whole video showcasing this tripod and going into its specs, so if you're interested in checking that out, I have a link up here. And for Prime Day, this tripod's going to be 25% off. So if $7.99 was too steep of a price before, you can snag it for about $5.99 during this sale. Next up may be the least exciting thing on the list, but it's actually one of the most useful things that I use on just about every single shoot, and that's gonna be SmallRig's V-mount batteries. They have batteries across a full range of capacities, from 50 watt hours to 99 watt hours to 155 watt hours to their largest capacity, one of the 212 watt hours. This is one of those things that you don't think would make a massive impact in your workflow until you realize it does. When it comes to shooting an 8-hour wedding, I can power my A7S III and my high brightness camera monitor for the entire day with a single 212 battery. And for shorter shooting days, around 6 hours, I can save some weight by rocking the 155 watt hour battery. If instead you're just looking for 4 hours of power, give or take, the 99 watt hours are perfect for smaller rigs, and the 50 watt hours are great for those who want to run super light and don't mind swapping every 2 hours or so in favor of portability. These are also fantastic for powering the next piece of gear we're going to talk about on today's list, but we'll get to that. Just like everything I'll talk about in today's video, I already made a video going deep into these batteries, and if you want to check that video out, make sure to hit that link up at the top right of your screen. For Prime Day, these batteries are going to be around 30% off, making batteries like the 99 SE around just $85 a pop. And the next item is a recent favorite from SmallRig. That's gonna be the RC220 series of their Pro video lights. This right here is the 220D. I also own the 220B. These have officially taken over as my primary video lights. I mean, I'm using 2 of them right now, the B in front of me and the D behind me. And I use them from everything for YouTube to things like my client work. And again, I'll give you 3 reasons why I love these. They're quite compact thanks to this square-ish design with an easy to use interface that makes operation a breeze. It of course is able to output a perfect amount of light for most projects at 220 watts, and thanks to its bicolor output between 2700 Kelvin and 6500 Kelvin, I can easily color match to whatever lights I need to. So outside of shooting outdoors in bright daylight, this light absolutely delivers. And my favorite feature is the built-in V-mount adapter. No extra accessories needed. You can attach any V-mount battery to the light itself, and you've got wireless lighting wherever you need it. This is by far my favorite feature on a video light in the past several years, and mark my words, so many lights are going to start shipping with this feature because it just makes so much sense. These lights actually haven't even been out for that long, and of course I have a video covering them on the channel as well in case you want to check that out. These lights will be 20% off on Prime Day, so that should make them just under $300 a pop, and I highly recommend them. So those are 3 of my favorite items from SmallRig, but of course SmallRig's entire catalog is up to 40% off on Prime Day, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the most useful, probably most underrated piece of gear that I own for every single one of my cameras, and that's going to be camera cages. On my A7S III, I've been rocking the CineBack from Camera Foundry, and on the A7S III itself, I'm rocking the Hawklock cage system. It has their Hawklock quick release system, making dismantling for travel and reassembling for shoots super fast. And they have a whole ecosystem of accessories they've been releasing over the past year and a half. On my ZV-E1, I've opted for a bit more of a leaner build since this is my on-the-go grab it and shoot setup with just a cage for protection and quick mounting. On my A7C Mark II, I'm using their base plate to help extend that grip a little lower to make the camera more ergonomic, and thanks to that integrated Arca Swiss rail, it makes it really easy to mount onto Arca Swiss compatible tripods and gimbals. And finally, on my FX30, I have a more traditional cage setup with the side and top handle for handling and mounting, And I also have a V-mount battery plate so I can power everything with a V-mount battery while adding an Arca Swiss mount to the bottom of the camera for fast mounting to tripods and gimbals. Again, there are going to be so many good deals on Prime Day. I recommend just taking an hour and just scrolling through SmallRig's collection as well as just the camera and tech section of Amazon in general to see what gear you've been needing or wanting and take advantage of the discounts while they're there. Sometimes you just have to girl math it. Next, let's talk about some other essential gear and accessories that we always need, like SD cards, but we never really think to buy them when they're on sale, so we end up paying full price for them like chumps. In this list of essential items, if there's something I forgot to mention that you think is a must-have and should buy during a Prime Day sale like this, leave them in the comment section down below. Heck, leave your affiliate links if you have them, because you should get some moolah credit for these hot finds. First of all, SD cards. If these are on sale, grab 2 or 3 more. After decades of being in this profession and hobby, I've realized that you can never have too many SD cards, because nothing sucks more than having to clear an SD card for an upcoming shoot while knowing that the prior shoot hasn't been delivered, meaning you have one less backup copy, you know, in case disaster strikes. I'd love if Sony Tough cards are on sale, but if they aren't, definitely check out offerings from other brands like ProGrade, AngelBird, SanDisk, Lexar, and the like. For me, my main criteria is that the cards need to be V90 so they can shoot 4K 120 frames per second and have good reviews in terms of reliability. Next would be batteries. Yes, I use V-mount batteries, but it's always a good idea to have a bunch of camera batteries when you're running a smaller rig or if you're just doing photography. There's a few brands I've used over the years like Wasabi Power, and while they aren't as good as OEM batteries, they get the job done at a fraction of the price. I've only had 2 third-party batteries die on me over the past decade and dozens that are still going strong. Some other smaller accessories that are nice to have are screen protectors for your camera LCDs, lens cleaning wipes, and a little rocket blower if you don't have one for clearing dust out from your camera sensor. I'd also take a look at some stuff that you thought that'd be really nice to have but didn't feel like buying it when it was full price. Things like a camera fan for your camera to help make sure that they don't overheat during long hot shoots, or a handheld hazer for adding atmosphere into your scenes, or how about finally grabbing some new filters for your camera system. This is also a great time to pick up other accessories for your kit as well, like refreshing your camera straps, maybe picking up some magic arms or suction cup mounts for those creative shots you've been wanting to create, or updating your audio solutions. I'll have links to everything we talked about in today's video in the description box down below. But yeah, suffice to say, I'm a huge fan of annual sales like this because for us as the consumers and professionals in this field, it's great when we get an opportunity to pick up stuff that we've been needing at a fraction of the price. And again, if you think that there's gear that I didn't talk about in this video that are essential that everyone should really check out while it's on sale, go ahead and link those in the comment section down below. I would love to turn that into a thread of just good finds. All right, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to SmallRig for sponsoring this video and generally just being a friend of the community. Happy shopping. Don't forget to hit that like button, get subscribed, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Oh, hold on, give me a second.